Stupid donkeys? No, smart donkeys. Preface. Aesop, the old Greek writer, wrote a fable that was told by a donkey that was labeled as stupid, only because he once said if he had a random solution for one problem, he could solve all other problems with it as well. You can imagine that life isn't that easy to figure out. There is also another story from the Orient about a supposedly stupid donkey that had enough and couldn't handle it anymore. If a seller or a businessman had saved up enough money, they would have loaded everything possible onto their horse and walked barefoot through the rivers. But if they didn't have the money to spare, they would just put it all on a donkey because they eat less and are overall easier to maintain. I am Pero, and I tell you the story about the first donkey in service. One of such donkeys was in service to a landowner. He let the donkey walk right next to his horse to save money. His name was Esel. The farmer often put way too much weight on him. It was the amount that a horse should normally carry. He acted just like the busyman. Get as much out of it as possible. No consideration for any losses or environmental damages, and no consideration for the long-term effects. Everything was already way to heaven when he asked his flying companion, the fly in his ear, "Can you give me some good advice regarding what I should do? My back hurts and my knees are weak. I need to take a break for a week." "Oh, well," says the fly, "something like a vacation. But you are only entitled to a vacation from the age 20 and up. You will have to be patient. I will ask the horse if it would be willing to take some weight off your back." He approaches the proud black horse. "Hey, strong horse, could you take some weight off Seppel's back over there? It's much too much for him and he is utterly exhausted. You currently aren't carrying that much weight." "Heck no," says the horse. "Tell him to stop whining. So far he's carried everything to where it was supposed to end up." Shortly after the fly told Seppel the bad news, he collapsed and died, stone cold, dead. The businessman went right ahead and put the weight on the horse, and since he could sell the fur of the donkey as well, he skinned him and loaded the fur on the horse too. Now the horse was being punished for being stubborn because it had to carry twice the weight. The fly leaves and finds another donkey's ear to sit in. Interim conclusion. Help when help is needed, otherwise it will just get harder. And don't think too much and do what your hearts tell you to do. About a donkey that immersed in both real life and in water. The fly didn't have to search so long to find a new shelter and make herself a home. But after a short amount of time, he also started to lament just like his predecessor. "God damn it! The weight is so heavy today and it is so unbearably hot." His owners ordered him to carry something from one side of the shore to the other. "I am very sorry," says the fly. "I can't help you, but once you are in the water, you can cool down a bit." In the middle of the river, the water reaches his tummy, and he feels a sudden relief. And as if bad luck would have it, he slips and falls into the water with all the goods strapped on him. Only his head was sticking out of the water. It took quite some time for him to get back on his feet. After getting out of the water, he notices that he feels lighter and wonders where the rest of the weight went. They unpack the donkey on the other side of the shore and they are very upset. Look at this fool! Half of the salt went down by the riverbed. Fortunately, they didn't hit him. And for his way back, he gets loaded once again with 2 very heavy bags. The donkey mumbles to himself, I will try going underwater again. It made my work much easier last time. The fly warns him, you must be careful, last time you carried salt, dear. That's why the people got mad. It dissolved in the water and you only delivered half of it, but this time it's something else. The donkey doesn't listen to the fly and lays down in the middle of the river. Once he gets up, the load is much heavier than before. Something is not right here, this is freaky heavy now. And when he gets out of the water to the other side of the river, the people praise him. You did a very good job, because we need sand to mix our concrete. Oh man, thinks the donkey, I'm such a fool. But the fly objects. Donkey, you can't base your worth upon the things others say. You should say, I like myself, no matter what happens. I always do the best I can. And if things go wrong, I still like myself, because I didn't know better at that time. But now I got a chance to learn from it. So please have mercy on yourself and never forget that you are a divine creation just like any other creature. On the way back, he goes through the river and the weight is light. The donkey dives in the water, and when he comes back up, his load is 5 times as heavy as it was before. When the people unload the delivery, they complain. This donkey can only deliver wet items. We could have wet the sponges ourselves. I'm such a loser, the donkey cries. Of course, the sponge soaked in the water once I dived in. You shouldn't be so hard on yourself, said the fly. I already told you before. Keep loving yourself and stop judging yourself. The judgment of good and bad just stops you from seeing the things that are really of great importance. And stop downgrading yourself. You didn't know about the salt, the sand, or the sponges. And if one tries to make work easier, it is rather smart. And you can't despise anyone who does their work conscientiously. No one, not even yourself. There are enough that live off of exploitation, overusage, and fraud. You, on the other hand, only gained some experience by doing honest work. And now I will tell you the secret about work. Be proud of what you can do by yourself. And pay close attention to the rest you can learn from others, even from the dumbest of them. The last part is something I learned from my grandfather. He was a handyman who generated a great source of income through his talent. It was so successful that 3 generations after him continue to benefit from it.